museum that impresses its visitors the most with these aspects. The country is rooted in roots that have hosted many different civilizations in various periods of history. From the Goths to the Lombards, from the Etruscans to the Romans, and finally to the Italian Renaissance, it is an exquisite mosaic of many different cultures. The most important of these periods, however, was the period of the Roman Empire, which saw significant developments in law, art, architecture, technology, and language. Then, with the collapse of the Roman Empire, the Middle Ages began, and this was Italy's turning point. However, it was during the Renaissance that Italy really prospered. Especially great developments in art, science, politics, religion, and discoveries took place in this period. From those times until today, it has managed to increase and protect these riches. As of 2024, Italy has 28,781,326 inhabitants, of which Rome is the most populous city with nearly 3 million inhabitants. On the other hand, the country has a surface area of 301,238 square kilometers and includes the two largest islands in the Mediterranean, Sicily and Sardinia. Italy is also a very different country with its climate. For example, it is continental in the northern parts, tropical in the coastal and central parts, and Mediterranean in the southern parts. This diversity also benefits the different vegetation that grows throughout the country. The language used in the country is Italian. This language is of Latin origin and is considered the most romantic language in the world. Italy, which has great values in language and literature, is also the address of world-famous writers such as Dante, Petrarca, and Boccaccio. Italy is also one of the first places that comes to mind when it comes to music and dance. For example, opera and classical music were born here. I highly recommend listening to opera in Italy. Great artists like Verdi, Pavarotti, Puccini, and Vivaldi were born in this land. Of course, Italy is one of the first places that comes to mind when it comes to carnival and entertainment. Especially events such as the Venice Carnival, the Palio di Seena horse race, and the Umbria Jazz Festival are the best entertainment styles in this country. Of course, the first thing that comes to mind when you think of Italy is its world-famous brands. Especially Milan and Rome are known as the heart of world fashion. Very important and valuable brands such as Armani, Versace, Prada, and Gucci are the work of Italy. Since these lists will go on and on, let's go deeper now. Let me take you on a unique journey through Rome, the most visited capital city. The heart of Italy literally beats in this city. A unique blend of history and culture, Rome fascinates thousands of visitors every year with its art-filled streets and unique museums. You will discover something new in every corner of the narrow and winding streets, and you will not be able to stop taking photos. On the other hand, I highly recommend you to see the historical buildings, colorful markets, and lively cafes. Because when you spend time in these places, you get away from today's modernity and enter through a door that opens to the Renaissance period. The city's world-famous museums and unique galleries are also truly fascinating. For example, Rome is home to the Vatican Museums, the Sistine Chapel, the Borghese Gallery, Bernini, Titian, and Caravaggio. But if you ask me where is the most visited place, I can undoubtedly say the Colosseum. This is a unique structure that presents the glory and splendor of the Roman Empire from a very different perspective. When you visit the Colosseum, I am sure you will feel like a gladiator with a sword in his hand, fighting for his life among thousands of spectators. Of course, Rome is not only a city of art, the people are just as good. Because they are warm, hospitable, and have a wonderful philosophy of life, la dolce vita, which means the sweet life, which makes them look at life to the fullest. When you try to talk to them, they will reflect this philosophy to you. Prices in Rome are a bit lower than in some big European cities, so you can enjoy the city or buy nice gifts without spending a lot of money. But if you prefer quality, the tourist areas and luxury restaurants will be a bit expensive. Rome is also great for experiencing flavors you have never tasted before. In this sense, I especially recommend you to go to Trastevere. Here you will be greeted by a vibrant nightlife, the famous Bohemian Quarter, colorful buildings, and narrow streets. You can also eat delicious meals for 20 or 50 euros in very popular restaurants such as Tonarello, Antica Pesa, and Nanarella. I am sure you will want to stay there for a while after you start to visit the city. In this regard, you can stay in hotels that can be called wonderful at very reasonable prices, and then you can enjoy Rome to the fullest. If you love art and the summit, then the Spanish Steps in the heart of Rome is the place for you. These stairs are a unique story that tells the history and culture of the city in the most beautiful way. Especially when you reach the top, you will be mesmerized by the magnificent view of the Trinita dei Monti church, and when you look down, you will feel the rhythm of life in Rome in your bones. Also, be sure to visit the Keats-Shelley house right next to the stairs, because this is the house where the famous English poets John Keats and Percy Bysshe Shelley lived. If you are not mesmerized enough, Venice is the place to end it, because this city is still the most visited, talked about, and glittering place in the world with its unique magic. Venice was founded in the 5th century and is spread over 118 small islands. These small islands were once home to fishermen and salt workers. At the time, Italian refugees fleeing the Lombard invasion took refuge here and built this beautiful city. Every corner of the city, without exception, is full of art and architectural wonders. However, I strongly recommend that you visit the city on foot, because if you travel by car, you may be deprived of many beauties. Your first priority should definitely be Piazza San Marco. This is the liveliest and most colorful spot in the city. You will be greeted more by pigeons than people, and these birds are very used to people. Don't forget the cathedral dedicated to Saint San Marco, which you should definitely visit. When you look at the top of this cathedral, the unique sculptures and the 4 bronze horses among them are quite remarkable. You can visit this museum for free between 09:45 a.m. and 17:00 p.m. But there is a line of people waiting for you. Of course, if you don't want to wait in line, you can buy a ticket for €150 and get in quickly. In the same square, you will see a wonderful tower, built in 1912 and more than 100 meters tall. At the top of this unique structure, built with red bricks, is a golden statue. But if you don't have sharp eyes, you won't be able to see it from below. If you want to climb this tower with its unique architecture and get a bird's eye view of the islands that make up Venice, for €8 you can make your dream come true. After all this sightseeing, of course you will get hungry. Don't worry, you won't go hungry in Venice. In this city, you can fill your stomach for very small prices. For example, if you are a seafood lover, I highly recommend you to try Risotto al Nero di Seppia. This unique flavor of black ink octopus with risotto offers the best of the city's flavor. By the way, I highly recommend trying bacala mantecoda, a codfish cooked with parsley and olive oil. Of course, when you think of Italy, the first things that come to mind are pasta and pizza. You can be sure that you will have the best pasta and pizza in Venice. You can eat bigoli and salsa pasta, which is made in almost every restaurant in the city and is very different. Made with sardine sauce, this unique flavor will leave a wonderful taste in your mouth. Of course, you should definitely try the Carpaccio, which is served as an appetizer. Hopefully you've seen enough of the city on foot and seen the unique buildings, but have you been to Venice by gondola? If your answer is no, you probably missed a lot, because the canals of this unique city have been the scene of many Hollywood movies and celebrities. Even the world's most famous artists who came here did not leave without a gondola ride. In this sense, I highly recommend you to visit the city by gondola. Of course, you have to pay for the gondola ride. It is enough to pay €80 for a 30-minute ride. This price is not for one person. You can have a perfect 30-minute experience with your spouse, lover, or friend for this price. Also, these gondolas are very reliable as they are managed by the local authorities. On the other hand, the weather in Venice is very changeable. When you see a beautiful and sunny weather, I recommend you to have a gondola experience immediately. You can have better information if you look at the season before you go to the country. I've talked about the beauty of the country and mostly the city centers, but I forgot about Italy's unique, sometimes quiet, sometimes lively holiday islands with spectacular landscapes, reminiscent of expensive paintings. If you are tired of work and the crowds and want to vacation on a beautiful island, Italy is the country for you. Whether with your lover or with your friend, you should definitely visit these islands and have a vacation there. Here are the most beautiful of those islands. Sicily, Italy's largest island, is a unique piece of land that holds the best of the Mediterranean within its borders and continues to amaze with every corner. You won't be able to hide your admiration when you see the architecture, mountains, magnificent beaches, parks, nature, and quaint towns of this beautiful island. It's like turning the pages of a gripping book. For example, you will admire Palermo's Baroque architecture and be mesmerized when you try the fresh flavors in the local markets. Palermo is also the capital of the island and has many beauties. I also recommend you to visit the foothills of Mount Etna, the highest and most active volcano in Europe, and watch the magnificent natural scenery. Your eyes will be mesmerized as you wander around here. The island stands out not only for its natural beauty, but also for its history. For example, you can have a unique experience by visiting Siracusa, full of theaters and historical ruins from the ancient Greek period. If you are a history buff, I am sure you will have a pleasant time here. It's also a well-known destination for great restaurants serving delicious seafood. This island is full of discoveries. The people are also very friendly and smiling. Now let's go to a slightly calmer and quieter address. The island of Prodica, also known as Hidden Paradise, is the best place for peace and vacation, and it really deserves its name. The first thing that will catch your eye on this unique island, which you can reach by sea in 45 minutes from Naples, is the colorful houses painted in pastel tones, small sandy beaches, and a unique way of life. Here, you can enjoy your vacation to the fullest. I could list many more examples like this, but the documentary could take hours. For this reason, I will just mention their names and move on quickly. Apart from the islands I mentioned, Sardinia, Capri, Ischia, Elba, La Maddalena, Salina, Favignana, Pantelleria, and San Domino are also home to wonderful landscapes, history, and discoveries. The biggest common characteristic of these islands is that they are quiet and calm. Of course, if you are looking for lively nightlife, you are sure to find it on these islands. It is hard not to be enchanted in Italy. You will find yourself in paradise as you visit every corner, street, and market of the country. You will not regret visiting this country, which stands out especially with its history and architecture and also has unique spots for a vacation. As the Italy documentary comes to an end, don't forget to follow my channel and like the video if you want more videos like this.